Do you guys remember Nerdette? As I'm scrolling through your boy Zack's channel this morning, I kind of was like, wow, he really reminds me of Nerdette now. I'll go back to the lore on this. Back when the whole Comicsgate started, this is before Ethan Van Sciver showed up and co-opted the movement. There were a bunch of YouTubers who covered sort of like anti-woke sort of content in comics. And, of course, your boy Zack was the biggest one. There was Englentine, I Love Comics. I think he's still out there. He doesn't really have much of an audience. He just kind of talks about old comics now. Nerdette and Captain Frugal. You guys remember Captain Frugal? Wow, this is really bringing me back. Who else was out there? Unranked Chevron was one of them. I was stupid and didn't start a YouTube channel back then, because if I would have, I probably would have sold a lot more comics. I was like, I had this like thought where it's like, I'm a writer, and I'm gonna write articles and do things in journalism and write my comic books and just be a writer. I'm not going to be a YouTuber. That was the dumbest decision I ever made in my whole life. I came into it later, and of course that helped me sell books thanks to guys like you. But this is how you find people: is YouTube and X and the like, and social media. And I don't know why I had those blinders on. I just did. But that was the crop that came on back then. And if you let me just look at Nerdette. It's been a while. Nerdette's newsstand. Oh wow, she's got 108,000 subscribers now. She got a lot of subscribers based on shorts she was doing that was covering like Amber Heard, and she was uploading Amber Heard videos from the courtroom where she just like got a ton of subscribers. She only has 7,000 views this month. So not many people watch her channel anymore, but she was anti-woke and the like. But she started like turning on anybody who was anti-woke, attacking Eric July, attacking me and the like. And then that became her channel, and of course nobody wanted to watch that. And she's got a voice that's like this. And so I always made fun of her on streams for a while. I just check in with Nerdette and see how she's doing these days. But funny stuff. But your boy Zack's channel now sounds a lot like her, and I always made fun of her because she always simped for DC Comics. So like whatever DC Comics was doing, she loves DC Comics, and even if it's like, you know, slobbering transgenders like in wheelchairs making out with each other, she'd be like, "Oh, it's great, it's DC Comics," and that's what your boy Zack's doing nowadays. Like it's just attack anti-woke people and DC Comics, right? And so that's his whole channel at this point. It's pretty wild, just how the mighty has fallen, how he's gone back into the exact opposite of what made his channel great. Now, DC Comics has not changed. They're not good now. Comics aren't good now. Absolutely. DC Comics has 6 out of the best-selling 10 comics. What does that mean? How many comics are actually being sold these days? And a lot of it's, again, variant covers that are being done with these, like, new absolute special #1 with, like, 1,000-copy variant cover that you can only get if you order 18,000 copies of the book. So it gins up the sales. This is to comic shops, not readers, right? A lot of these sit in the back rooms of comic shops and aren't actually read. I talked to a comic shop owner, and a comic shop owner told me that the comics being sold at this point are about maybe about a third of those even get read by customers. And so, yeah, the comic industry is not doing well. Where it is doing well is like webtoon, manga, and the like. And here's the thing. So your boy Zack always makes videos criticizing those. He hates that. He wants everything to be like absolute Batman. Wow. And you've got weirdos working at DC Comics and the like. And your boy Zack didn't cover it. Denise Camp, who is writing Absolute Martian Manhunter, who's writing The Ultimates, who's like being propped up by both companies at the same time because they're a big collusive whisper network, and that's all they are, tried to cancel a independent Argentinian creator just a couple weeks ago. Nobody covered it. I was the only one who did. And he was getting attacked for having vampires, who were talking about children, trying to corrupt children into becoming vampires. And transgender people went around going, "That sounds like me." I'm dead serious. And so they they piled on this guy, called him anti-trans, tried to ruin his career. Denny's Camp led that charge, and he's like the big guy at Marvel and DC on the absolute line and the ultimate line right now. So Zach, why didn't you call that out? What's going on? Does that not matter to you? I thought comics matter, and so this guy's independent comic got savage. I did videos on it. Go find it, guys, on the channel here. Very important stuff. And it's very, very sad to watch this, that he doesn't even cover this type of stuff anymore, doesn't cover how bad the comic industry still is, and just goes, Eric July, bad. Thinking critical, bad. Neurotic. And his analyses are stupid at this point. Like, he's literally just missing everything out there. So Absolute's doing great. And yes, and so look at this. It's passive-aggressive to absolute disaster. So he's mocking, of course, the disasters that are going on. DC has 6 out of the top best-selling comics. That's a bad thing? Yes, it is, because these people are evil, and these comics suck. And what does the 10 best-selling mean? It's not what it was 5 years ago. It's not what it was 10 years ago. Comic shops are dying, and people are not actually buying from comic shops anymore. People are not collecting this stuff anymore because they don't care. And that's the truth. And then you get the contrast of this. When good fans go bad, geeks were not ready for the power that social media would give them, where he rants about Eric July again. It's like, okay, cool, great. Tourist or tour guide, is comics really dead, or is it just dead to you? Now this is the mantra that Heather Antos and the like that he used to criticize have been saying for years. It's not for you, right? It's for diverse modern audiences. Your Boi Zack's all in on it now. Absolutely crazy. Well, we're all in on, of course, making independent comics. Everything your Boi Zack promised, my friends, is what we're doing over here. And I appreciate you being here. My name's John Delarose. Please hit the like and subscribe button. This is my comic Substack. And like I said earlier in the video, webcomics are thriving. It's not the comic shop. It is the just people reading real stories by independent creators. Marvel Comics and DC Comics have not had an original idea that's interesting in years. Absolute Batman's a joke. I mean, stupid. What if Batman was this roided up guy who beats people up like a 90s guy? Yeah, wow. I mean, it's like you have to really be a stupid person to be like, that's great. And that's what your Boi Zack is, right? A really stupid person. But he promised back in the day that he was going to be building an alternative to mainstream Marvel and DC Comics. He started with Jawbreakers. He was going to get things going. You know, over the years, he just never delivered his books. Took years to get any 48-page book out. That's a typical thing. And then his influence dwindled because of that. Comicsgate did much the same, as Ethan Van Sciver just like made it into his PayPig group, where it's like he doesn't deliver books. He doesn't even care about comics. Meanwhile, we've just been making comics over here, and that's what I did at the early career. Like I said, I didn't even YouTube because I wanted to just be a writer. And so this is where I'm doing this now. This is Substack. It's a free speech platform. It's amazing. Putting up comics every single day for you to read. This is Flying Sparks. We're already at issue 4 of page 10, about halfway through the 4th issue of free comics that I'm giving you just for reading. And this way you just stay in touch and just like keep reading every single day. It makes it important. I want to cultivate a readership because readership's what's important. The YouTube thing's great. There's a conversion rate on YouTube, right? And it's about 5%. And that 5% of the readers are the ones that I'm actually going for. That's who I'm speaking to here. I appreciate you guys being here for that. But we need to increase that because reading comics is what's going to, of course, make healthy comics. And as we do this, we have a lot going on, my friends. I have so many different comics in development in different stages right now. It's just amazing. We're putting up 2 different comics monthly here as webcomics that are exclusive to here for paid subscribers because you've got the free version, you've got the paid version, and that's what I like about webcomics. Webcomics, people read, and then they come and support the creator because they like what they read, and that's awesome. And that's exactly what's going on. If you look at Webtoon and like, those guys get thousands of paid subscribers, making them have an ecosystem where they can just create. And as much as like in the 2018, 2017, perhaps I should have done more YouTube marketing and the like, I really did want to just create. And that's what the goal is here at this point. So if that is something that really resonates with you, if you love creators, if you want to help build something that's actually going to last and continue, this is the spot to do so. Get on the Substack today. It's in the description below. And I do have, of course, print books for everybody in an online bookstore. And you can get any of my books. There's all my novels. And like I said, I just write full-time, unlike these guys. And here's Overmind. This is where I suggest starting if you haven't read, or Days Volt. One of these two probably is a great place to pick up a book today. These are in the description below. Thank you guys so much for supporting our channel and supporting our artistic efforts. Moving forward with a lot of stuff right now. I've got a new book coming out tomorrow called Churchianity, which is not really, I'm not going to talk about it too much on the comic channel, but this is one that's my first nonfiction book, and of course I'm talking about just how to return to tradition, to just reject modernism, and that's something that goes across culture. So if that speaks to you, that's on Amazon. Check that out, and thanks for being here. All right. So this is what we have going on. Is comics dead, or is it just dead to you? And of course, it is actually dead, right? The whole, nobody cares about it. You can't cover, and this, he's complained about it on the channel. I can't even review a Rogue comic book. Nobody watches it because nobody cares about a stupid Rogue comic book. Marvel and DC not only have just made identity politics a terrible thing and hired some of the worst writers out there. We have Stephanie Phillips, one of the worst Whisper Network woke activists out there, who can't write worth anything, now getting onto a massive Marvel project because they're still promoting the exact same people. They still are blacklisting conservatives. It's exactly the same situation it's been in 2017, 2018. Gail Simone's in charge of X-Men. I mean, come on. But comics are good now because I like Ultimate Batman, where Ultimate Batman just goes and he's roided out. Wow, cool. I mean, like I said, they give you a couple crumbs for, like, if you're a stupid person, but they really aren't giving you anything good in the comic book industry at this point. And so that's where the whole comic industry's at. It is dead. It is dying. You cannot build content based on actual just comic books from the comic book shops at this point because nobody's reading and nobody cares anymore. That's a big problem with the industry. That's exactly why I'm working hard on the webcomic side. But your boy Zach's just missing the mark again and just having bad takes again. He hasn't dropped subs in a bit, but this is where he's at. I'm a conservative freak out of the day. Yeah. And so this is Cracker Barrel. This isn't the conservative freakout. Everybody thought Cracker Barrel's logo was stupid. And of course, Cracker Barrel said, okay, it is stupid. You guys are right. And he said it works. And it does work. Nerdrotic's 100% right. You can move the industries with your dollar. It's very, very important. This is exactly why you need to support independent alternatives, because these corporations are a little harder to move than us. When I get messages from people and go, hey, I like this about the story, I'd love to see more of this, I take that into consideration when I write stuff. I mean, it's very important, and I write enough that you'll probably get to what you want at some point. It's pretty cool to be a fan over here, but that's a lesson. That's a good thing. This is not a negative thing, except your boy Zach's just, the whole point of this post has nothing to do with Cracker Barrel or anything like that. It's just, I hate Nerdrotic, right? And that's all it is. He's just angry, like I said, at this point. He's become nerdette. He's become nerdette. He's become she, her. Yes. That's your boy Zach now. And so now this is where it's going right here. Seen all the news chatter about Disney whining they don't have young male properties. Reminds me of the quote. I'll say it now so you can say it a few years when it's safe. Disney didn't say that. Comes from an unsourced article. And when Disney was asked for comment, they said they were developing content for that demographic, as well as every other demographic. So wait a minute. They did say they were developing content for the young male demographic? Okay, bro. Well, they weren't saying that before, you idiots. So you guys are, your boy Zach's just lying, of course, to make his narrative. And here we go. Thinking critical, right? I was somehow able to navigate collecting comics at the age of 14, but apparently it's such a dangerous minefield of a hobby, you need a tourist to guide you through it. By the way, there's guides on collecting hobbies and all that on all these different channels, different comic channels, Warhammer channels. This is a pretty standard thing to talk about when it comes to something like this. And this is ridiculous. Like, your boy Zach is talking. He's in one hand going, this is manufactured freak out, stupid outrage. Now he's outraged because Thinking Critical has a, hey, here's a good spot to start collecting comic books. Like, that's outraging you? Why are you so mad at Wes? Show me on the doll where Wes touched you. Your boy Zach. This is crazy. He's absolutely angry. And Aaron Sparrow, who shows up on the channel, pretty obvious, often, had a great comment on it, like usual. He says, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, I guess. Can you imagine being this bitter, petty, and small? Also, the advice in this video is from Science Jesus, who is a different, I guess, comic reviewer, whose collecting knowledge and collection dwarfs anything Richard could fathom in his best day, but it proves once again mundane Zach, doesn't watch the thing he critiques. No, he just whines about it, like he says. So what he does and what he claims Nerdrotic's doing is what he's actually doing, but it just against these guys. It's really, really sad to watch as the mighty have fallen anymore. But that did dawn on me today that he really has taken a turn that's very, very similar. And this one didn't go so well. No, it didn't. All right. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Guys, we are building this great new alternative to comics. This is the JDA Comics Substack right here. Get on here. Over 1,000 people have signed up, and I really appreciate it. We're building so big. I know a lot of you are burnt out and angry about comics and the like because of the way these guys just never deliver, but I've been doing this since 2018. This is nothing new. I've been doing it year in and year out. It's great to be a fan over here. We have a wonderful comic book community in my Discord, wonderful group on my newsletter. You guys are awesome people. Sign up for this in the description below. Don't wait. Grab a paid subscription and, of course, support our comics as we produce them. It supports a lot of great artists, including a lot of good conservative artists who actually like you. And I just looked at my expenses this year. I feel like I've bought like $60,000+ worth of art. And people don't realize like just how all in I am on building infrastructure on how to do this. And it's very, very different over here. And you found the right place. This is home, guys. Appreciate you being here. Sign up today. And yes, Churchianity will be out tomorrow as well. So thank you guys for reading.